Welcome to episode 48 of the Perspective Podcast. My name is Timothee, and every week we have a podcast ready for you guys. And firstly, for you watching this, if you're new, thank you. If you're a returning viewer, thank you. Thank you for watching the episodes. I make sure to say that every time because I'm very grateful. We started this literally over a year ago and it is my baby. It feels like my baby and we're still growing till this day. It's mad that you gotta go through a lot of down bad shit for you to actually have something to get something going. And yeah, we're here and we're not gonna stop anytime soon. This is just the beginning. Make sure you stay tuned with the podcast and just stay tuned with what we've got going on because it's only up from here. I hope that this inspires you. I hope whatever I say inspires you. For anyone who's Christian or anyone who's not Christian, God loves you. You are loved and you will forever be loved. Always, you are a child who is a child of God. You are a child of love. So don't forget that. Just keep growing and keep learning. And remember that iron sharpens iron. Whatever information that you have, give it to someone else because, it means a lot to give to someone. The environment that you're around goes a long way. If you're around people that are not really the best for you and you're aware of that, then you can make a change. Don't forget that. And your life reflects from your heart. The way your heart is, it reflects the way your life is. So if there's something off, then you have to check in from within. It all starts from within and let that out. Become the best version of yourself every day. I think that's the main part of perspective. Be the best version of you no matter what because in this life it's not easy, but one day at a time you're going to have to overcome that hurdle and grow each day and become your best self. That's all you can do. And just keep going. Have that people around you. Have your loved ones around you. Have that time away to just reflect. Yesterday, I had a day of just full reflection. No music, no phone, no TV, just journaling, writing, and just nothing. And in them periods, you really realize what you want in life, or you realize what you like, you realize what you want, and you realize what you don't want, and you realize what you don't want to be around. And it's a major slap in the face because it all hits you. It's mad that you have to go through nothing, that you have to do nothing for everything to just hit. Because when you're going through a day, you just consume so much stuff that it really clouds what you want. Obviously, not all the time, but sometimes you just need that clarity to just do nothing because it all hits the face, bro. It really does. Even if it's just 5 minutes, it's worth it because it goes a long way. That's why most of the time when I'm running, I don't listen to music sometimes because it's really a good way to just let everything out and just speak everything into existence. So yeah, that's just a little ramble on just the mindset and the way to move forward. And we're just going to keep going with the podcast. Every day is a new perspective and every day is a new way of living, no matter how chaotic or crazy or hectic life may be going. Still got to get things going, period. Still got to put food on the table. Still got to, do all that stuff that you want to do and just don't stop because who's stopping us? No one is stopping us. If you're in your 20s, if you're a teenager, whatever age you are, matter of fact, go and get it because there's no limit. There really isn't. There really isn't. There's no limit. I finished reading this book, by the way. I finished reading Shoe Dog. It may be one of my favorite books of all time because it does not miss. Phil Knight is literally my twin. He's my twin. He's literally my twin and he started his Nike business or his whatever in 1972, but really it started in 1962. But it's crazy how it's crazy how someone can influence you, or it's mental how things can happen from the 1960s that still have the same weight on the way things are moving now. It's crazy, bro. Things really don't change. Things don't change. It's just that the ecosystem, just the way life is or the way things are politically. It never changes. It's still a lot of that, but it's just mad. If you haven't read it, I'd recommend for you to read you though because, bro, there's just something about that book. It just speaks to you, bro. It speaks to you. I was reading that book and I was like, yo, this is very, very relatable. He was on some Drake shit and how relatable it is because that's why I love Drake's music because I relate to him so much. But yeah, honestly, you just need to read that book because it's something and it really will have you thinking, okay, we gotta get it. We actually have to get it. And it makes you realize that sometimes it's okay to just slow down, be patient. It was when he was in his late 30s when Nike started to bloom. So keep that in mind. I'm 23, we got a lot of time. But in that time, go and get it. go and get it because time waits for no man. Time waits for no man. I've got some thoughts. This podcast is starting very different, literally different perspectives. I feel like getting a whiteboard or something just to put on the wall, to put stuff like goals or something just to put on the wall. I think it's important to have those things because you've got to, you've got to, it's important to have them things to see visually, and it's also important to have something that you stand for every day. Every day, it's important to have something written and just have it so you can see it. Mine is obviously perspective, and as well, obviously, I have some goals, and of course, there's things that I'd want or see myself living. It's important to have those things written, and obviously, I live by verses from the Bible or some mantras. It's important to live by those things because that's the way to like get yourself back in reality to realize, okay, we've got to go and do this thing because if you don't, then who will? Honestly. And with that, it just comes with just have being aware. So yeah, having a whiteboard on the wall is very important, and I'm really trying to do that because sometimes you can just forget. You can really just forget, and I don't want to forget. I want to keep going. I want to keep moving forward. I keep growing and learning. Playboy Carti is dropping something with Whole Lot of Red or doing something with Whole Lot of Red. He's had a lot of the, what is it, billboards or posters around the world, and especially in Europe. And he's had it in London not long ago with just that the red poster. And I don't know what he's trying to do. I don't know if it's just a vinyl release or something, but he's doing something. It would be nice if he drops a Whole Lot of Red Deluxe or just does something to celebrate the 5-year anniversary of the album. And if he actually does it on Christmas Day, that would be sick. But knowing Carti, I highly doubt that he'll actually do that. He did his Fortnite show or whatever, and it was actually nice to see that more artists should be more open to just speak to their people on like games or some shit, because that was actually wholesome. You would have thought that Playboy Carti would be wholesome with his fans, just like talking with them. And the craziest thing was when one of the fans asked him about or mentioned the Lollapalooza 2021 set because, bro, that set is one of his best sets of all time. I can't lie. It's very minimal. It's just him. He was definitely geeked off his face. It's very minimal. It's just him in the mask, and that was during not the Yeezy. That was during the Donda period, so that's why he was wearing a mask, and he was just in a white vest, skinny leather jeans, and I don't know what shoes they were. I don't know what shoes, but Rick Owens. I don't know. Margellas. There was whatever they were. It was just a simple outfit, simple, very simple outfit, and it was one of his best sets. He was not listening to anyone. People were passing out because Miley Cyrus's fan base were obviously waiting for her to perform, and they got they got crushed, bro. They got crushed. And the funniest part was when he was saying people are passing out, but honestly, that means you guys are doing great. Like, bro, honestly, thank God he said all of that before the asteroid tragedy, because I don't think you can even say that now. Because if you do say that now, then it's tough. Your career's gone. Like, Travis literally just saved himself, just about saved himself. And yeah, it's tough. But that Lollapalooza set was crazy, and it's mad that he still remembers it. Well, obviously, he's still gonna remember it, but he's mad that he still thinks that it's one of his favorite shows because that was really the start of the Whole Lot of Red era, and it was crazy. It was actually mad. So it was nice to see that he was actually just reminiscing on the past and bringing that up. So more artists should be able to just speak with their artist. More artists should be able to speak with their fans. That's what I mean. More artists should be able to just speak with their fans on like a game or something. Just to do something because it just shows that you're actually engaging with them, and obviously it means that Carter's mysterious era is actually gone, which is good, man. Like it. Thank God, good riddance. It's not needed no more. We don't need to see that. We don't. I hope he does a deluxe of Whole Lot of Red because he was meant to do one, but then he scrapped it. I don't know, but well, not scrapped it. I don't know what he did, but he did something because I remember when Whole Lot of Red dropped, right? And he was on some Whole Lot of Red Deluxe. What do you want? Name the songs, and they will be on there. And he didn't do anything. The streets will never forget that. He was going crazy on Twitter talking his shit, but he did not do a single thing. It really just has me thinking, what was the whole point of that? And then he did that whole narcissist thing and whatever. That was such a waste of time. It really just does make you think like these artists really do scrap a lot of albums or a lot of things because it's just not worth it in the moment. But then at the time they're thinking, okay, we're gonna do this, but it just does not happen. But it's very like jarring because it's like, what's the point of even saying it if you're just gonna scrap it? That's why you should not say a single thing until you're actually going to do it. Because what is going on? literally, literally, what is the point? But we will see if he does a whole lot of Red Deluxe on the 25th on Christmas, which is happening very soon in 9 days. I swear, 9 days. Yeah, 9 days is Christmas. That is gonna be crazy. 5 years, whole lot of red dropped, and we're not gonna forget the era that was before whole lot of red dropped when he was doing them snippets, when he was posting them sus pictures. You know, the one that he had with his tongue out, of finger in his mouth. Oh, like that stuff was very sus. Just the streets are not gonna forget that. And during that period, not a lot of artists were really like supporting him. Drake was, which is crazy. Future and Kid Cudi and who else? Kanye were supporting him. That is, and Lil Yachty. That is it. Not, and obviously you got the Homicide Ken and Destroy Lonely's whatever, but in the mainstream rap whatever, not a lot of artists were really supporting him, which is actually kind of tough. And now it's crazy how things have just changed. Like it's mad how things have changed. But at the start, it was really weird. Like he just about scraped getting that number one album because it just got around 100K. It just about got 100K and went number one. Like it was such a weird moment. Like not a lot of people talk about it because of how different and odd and out of the ordinary that album was. Like people did not actually appreciate the album until he started performing it live, and it started creating buzz more than albums that were like the normal. And it's crazy, bro. I remember vividly when that album dropped. I remember it so vividly. I remember waking up at 5 a.m. to listen to the album, and I listened to like the first three songs. I listened to the first three songs. What was it? Rockstar Made, and then it was, what was the second one? Was it Go to the Moon? Yeah, it was. so it was Rockstar Made. Well, as soon as I pressed play, I was thinking, what is this album? What is this? Like, I was thinking, what is this? Then the second song, Go to the Moon, I was feeling it. And then Stop Breathing, I was saying, yeah, I can't lie, this is not it. I'm going to sleep. As soon as I've listened to Stop Breathing, I was like, yeah, I'm going to sleep. I'm going to sleep. I was willing to stay up and listen to the whole album, but then it just got to Stop Breathing. I was like, yeah, I'm going to sleep. I value my sleep a lot. I'll listen to this during the day. And I remember listening to it and I was thinking, what is this album? Like, the only songs that I liked when it dropped was Beano, which I still do till this day, Slayer, New Tank. Actually, no, I wasn't even a fan of New Tank. Meh. Yo, I can't lie, I really liked Meh. Like, no one really talks about the start of the song when it's like this. And then, of course, Vamp Anthem, New Neon, you kind of like that, and Control. Those are like, I really like them ones. I wasn't a fan of Punk Monk. Wasn't a fan of On That Time. I still don't really listen to that one. King Vamp, I'm still not a fan of that one. Then you have Place, of course. But Place, when listening to that for the first time and when it had that pause, that tripped me out because I was like, what is going on? It's 11:11 Make a Wish. Then you had Sky, of course, kind of like that one, but I wasn't really keen on it. I like it, but I wasn't really keen on it. Then you had Over, and I'll be honest, I wasn't keen on that one either. Especially when he did the snippet, I was thinking it's cool, but it just wasn't. I don't know. I just wasn't really a fan of it. But now looking back, I'm saying, how could you not like this? Like, how could you not like that shit? How the fuck we got to West? There's this mix that I have, yeah. I'm gonna have to show you this. There's this mix that I have of that song, right? It sounds so good. Damn. How the fuck we got to where we started? I live my life like a kid with a novice. Like that sounds really good. And then you have I Love You, I Hate You. That one has always been my favorite, and it still is my favorite. I'll be honest. And then Die for Guy, wasn't really a fan. Not Playing, not really a fan. And then Feel Like Dying, which I've actually always liked that one. I'm thinking my down my hair, red, just look like a battery. All of my cups are dirty, just look like a battery. And one thing I'll forever be gassed for was the fact that I've seen him perform that song live. And Slayer. Not a lot of people can say that. Slayer is actually a hard find for you to get Kai to play, because I saw that shit when I saw him in London, and this was still the era when he was having them sirens and his DJ was still like doing a side the fuck out, side the fuck out, like that was the era, and he was in a mask. Bro, that was such an era, but things have just changed now. Things have just changed. Now we're in this music era where he's actually out of this mysterious era, that his main Instagram account is basically his opium account. But hey, what a sight to see. You know what we need to see for this new Carti, or for the Deluxe, if he actually does one? We need the bald man. We need the bald Manchester man. New Carti! New Carti! Dropping today! Today! Like we need that. The streets need that. New Carti! Dropping today! Streets need that shit, bro. There was so much adrenaline whenever that guy would just come up on the feed, bro. Every time. It was when he did the one with him and Travis. New Carti! Travis Scott! thinking, yes! Like, there was so much hype around that. It's mad how like you have to do something different out of the ordinary to get people's attention, and it worked, bro. He really started that era in what, end of 2023, or like, yeah, this, like, it was during this period of 2023 when he did like the 2024, when he did the I forgot the other songs, but yeah, 2024. And then when it was 2024, he did the Back Room one. That one, I still fuck with that. And Hood by Air. Wow. Hood by Air is still like my favorite. But no one talks about Back Room that much, especially the part when Travis first comes on and you can hear the synths in the background. It just erupts slowly, and it just gets louder and just gets deeper, and then it just goes back to it being simple. But Back Room is a very good song. So is Backdoor. Backdoor, backdoor. What a song, bro. But yeah, Carti, whatever he's on, I want to see him next year, and he's doing his tour with The Weeknd, right? But it's not his own show. I want to see him at his own show. We've already seen The Weeknd. But if we get to see The Weeknd, I'll be there. But I want to see Carti. So it's like, we may have to go. Yeah, we may have to go. We may have to. You can't not see Carti, but at the same time, it's for The Weeknd tour, so like the fan base won't really be Carti. You would just be there for The Weeknd. But I do feel like it will be a lot of Carti in the standing and then a lot of Weeknd in the sitting. So it makes things balanced, in my opinion. Right? It makes things a little bit easier. But hey, we just gotta keep going. We've seen so much about Timothee Chalamet. He's been on this major press run with his film Marty Supreme, and it's crazy how much dedication he puts to his craft. He's been doing so much with his touring, in just all over the world. He's basically been on this UK run. And one thing I like about Timothee Chalamet is his mindset. I like his mindset in a way that he's just on to do whatever he can do. He's literally mentally willing to be the best version of himself. He always says he's on the pursuit of greatness. And it takes a lot of grit. It takes a lot of discipline to actually do that, and that's one thing I'm actually grateful for him. Even though he's tapped out, he's still tapped into the social world and just the way things are going, and it's sick. There's one of my favorite verses or favorite things I like to hear is like, do not comply to the ways of the world, like don't follow the footpaths of the world. And I think that he's a pure definition of that. He doesn't follow what others do. Of course he follows his like mentors or people that he's inspired by, but he always does things in his own way and his own craft, and it's inspiring. And yeah, he's been doing a lot of stuff. It's crazy that he did a pop-up in London, right? And grown-ass men grown-ass men grown-ass grown-ass men grown-ass men were literally like lined up from 2 a.m. And their response was just because he's that guy. Like, you know how much aura that is. Like, fair enough, bro. Fair enough. Like, I'll be honest. I'll probably do that. Nah, I wouldn't do that. Not for Timothy. Like, I'll be there. I don't even think I'd line up. I'm not really a fan of queues. Like, I heard something of someone saying, I think it was Chris. He was talking about how, his dad always told him that you should not be in a queue or in a long queue. It's just not worth it. Because if you're in a queue, then, hey, just go find something else. And I've low-key be like, it's very true. Unless it's for like a concert. But I'd rather, yeah, actually, unless it's for a concert, I'm not willing to be in a queue for something. Like, what are we doing here? Like, being in a queue, like, if I'm not 100% guaranteed to get what I want. Like, for real. But, anywho, yeah, Timothy Chalamet, he's actually like one of the top, I was going to say top artists, top actors in the game because he's always been tapped into hip hop and rap. And it's mad how he's just always been influenced by it, especially with him doing just the little stuff like when he'd always do his dancing. Like one video or one song that I always remember is when he did he did the, I don't know what show he was on, but he was singing over Lil Uzi's song Sideline, the holla holla holla. Let me catch my breath. Let me catch my, and he was like doing the hand gestures to that song, right? And the funniest part of that song was like everyone, the audience in the background is like, the audience in the background are clapping on beat like to the song. That's like the funny shit ever, bro. That's the funny shit ever. I may need to get that clip because that shit is so funny. Hold on. Hold on. Let me catch my breath. Let me count these checks. What the fuck are they clapping for? Well, but you know what, fairs, bro. But nah, that's the funny shit ever. That is actually the funny shit ever. Wow. Hold on. Let me catch my breath. Let me count these checks. Flex out my hips. Then I got no back. Pull up for the shit. What a song, by the way. Lil Uzi. Firstly, Uzi's been dropping songs. Wow. Uzi's been dropping songs, but I've not really been tapping into them. I've not been tapping into them. I'll be honest. Like, I've heard one of them and I was like, yeah. You know that song? What's that Drake song? On Drake's song Circle Loco, he says this one line was like, "Play job, try one, okay, I heard enough." Like honestly, I'm like that with Uzi's new stuff. Like played that one song, and I'm like, okay, I've heard enough. Because what is this? What is this? Like you're allowed to drop more music now. You're in this like brilliant deal with Rock Nation or whatever. The same deal as Rihanna basically and Beyonce and Jay-Z, but you're just not doing anything. Come on now. And the music is kind of doo-doo. But hey, I'm not gonna hate on the man. But at the same time, what is going on? Because there was a period where Uzi had the whole game on a chokehold. He really had the whole game in a chokehold. But hey, I still love Uzi. That's my guy. That is my guy. For real. For real, for real, for real. Yeah. Love is Rage 2 is such a good album. Such a good album that I really do think that's my favorite one. I always used to say that Love versus the World 2. No, Lil Uzi versus the World. I've always thought that one was my favorite. But then I was just listening to Love is Rage 2 and I just think, yeah, that era is ridiculous because that was also the same time that XXX dropped his album, what, 17 was it? 17? I think so. Like, that was crazy how that era was going on. I remember 2017. I remember that day vividly. I was playing, I don't know what game I was playing. I think it was like Rocket League or just on GTA, just driving around in the car. One of them, and I was just playing the album. I remember that shit vividly, bro. That shit was like it was yesterday. And I miss those days, man. That shit was so good. My favorite was always The Way Life Goes, but now it's changed. I think it's Feelings Mutual. Feelings Mutual is such a good song. Like, easy. I've been in a bit of a confliction, right? That I'm working this bartender job. I'm just trying to save up some cash or whatever just to make sure rent is paid. And I'm really on the verge of like quitting my jobs and stuff. Quitting my jobs. I'm on the verge of quitting my job. Not even just because I want to quit. Of course, I want to quit it, but it's to the point that content wise and just life wise is like I'd rather go all in with that than to waste my time in a place that don't even value me. You know, I'm not willing to stay at a place or settle at a place that is not even does not even have any benefit to my calling at all. You know, it's something that's always been in my mind, and I'm not willing to do that. I think that's something that is important. Like, you really have to be in a place that is something that you actually enjoy. Otherwise, you're just wasting your time. And if it has nothing to do with your calling, why are you there? It should never just be about thinking about the money. Like, fuck that, bro. Honestly, it's not about that. And yeah, I even told my mom about that stuff. Like, this is just being open. And it's crazy that I didn't even have to, like, say she was like, what's on your mind? And I had to tell her. But yeah, I'm just on the verge of that, like making that decision of going all in. We're very close to it because there's only so much I have left. This is like peak period of hospitality, and I don't like it. I don't like it, and it may have to be the case of just like calling, not even calling it quits, but just like saying goodbye to that and just going all in with content in the new year. Because honestly, I don't think I have it. I don't have the strength. Not my strength. It's all God's strength that's doing all of this because man, it's taken everything out of me, and it's like I'm wasting my time. I'm wasting my time. You know, it's mad that like I'm doing these long hours at this place, right? And I'm just about making enough when I could be creating content that's just helping more people than just making drinks. Like, what are we doing here? I really use this podcast to just vent, don't I? But hey, let's switch things up. Let's switch it up. 21 Savage dropped his album, and it's called, what is it? What have they done to the streets? How I don't know what, I don't remember what it's called. The Streets. I'm gonna just call it The Streets. 21 Savage dropped his album, and a lot of people were hating on it, but I actually like it. I was listening to it on I was listening to it, right, while I was just making breakfast or some shit, whatever. And I was actually enjoying it. It was like an album that I needed to hear from 21 because I was not really a fan of his album American Dream. There's only one or two songs that I like off the album, but like for the most part. But this album, I was like, yeah, like this is what we needed. I don't know why people are hating on it. Like, of course, they wanted some new shit, whatever, but this is that real 21 Savage. Like, this is the closest to 21 Savage that I got since I Am Better Than I Was. Like, I genuinely enjoyed this album. Like, the songs were just slapping. Like, it's a gym album. It's something I actually just listen to at the gym or just in the background while I'm doing some shit. Like, it's something that I actually just found fire. I don't know about you, but I liked it. And these are my favorite songs in the album. I really enjoyed Way From, Step Brothers, Cupful. I liked Pop Out, I can't lie to you. I like Mr. Recoup, of course. That one had me jumping. That piano was like ding, 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 ding. I was like, you know what? Yeah, that shit's fire. I like Jump Up With Your Hoe. Dog Shit, I wasn't really a fan of. Code of Honor is cool, but when G Herbo comes on, I skip that. Gang Over Everything is valid. Halftime interlude, and then when it goes into the big stepper, that transition was sick. I really enjoyed it. And then Atlanta Tears, which is one of Lil Baby's best verses he's done in a while. Like, it's one of his best verses he's really done in a while. And I was like, you know what, fair play. And then you have I Wish, which did the interpolation of R. Kelly's song I Wish. Dope. And that is actually a top tier song if you don't know about I Wish by R. Kelly. Like, that song is fire. But I really enjoyed 21 Savage's album. The album cover is sick. Shout out to Sloan because he's been on a generational run. Like, that is the definition of like your passion is like paying. It's paying, bro, because he's literally working with all these things, Formula One, FA Cup, Premier League, all these things and artists having these exhibitions, and also just working with artists. Like, that shit's fire. Even though his artwork isn't the best, like it's I like it because of how shit it is. I like it. It's weird, but I like it. I actually really enjoy it. But yeah, it's very creative, and not a lot of people do that type of stuff. So yeah, it's a good one. I enjoyed it, and I really like the album. I'll be listening to the album more because yeah, there's just something about it that's just, we needed that back. And I don't know if I'm the only one, but we needed that 21 Savage. We needed it. Like streets genuinely needed that stuff. They did. I was also listening to this artist, right? I don't know what they're called. I don't know what they're called. But they featured on a song with Dominic Fike and it sounded really good. It's called it's by this artist called Heather, right? And he did a song called Images of Love with Dominic Fike. It's a really good song, bro. Like I don't know about it, but it's just nice. It's chill. It's actually really good, and he's currently on 871,000 monthly listeners. So I can say that I'm listening to an underground artist. When you listen to an underground artist, bro, that's just the best feeling ever. But honestly, listen to it. There's something smooth and just chill about his music. And I listened to like 3-4 songs off his latest album. And cramp. And I really enjoyed it. I need to finish the album. But there's something good about his music that I'm like, I need to listen to him more because he actually has something he does. So that's an artist of the week I'd recommend for you to listen to. Heather, Hether, Heather. And listen to his song with Dominic Fike, Images of Love, because it's a slapper. Before I went to sleep last night, I was just thinking about love. Yeah, again, I'm always thinking about love, right? Every time. Yeah, whatever. And I was thinking, what do I see myself, who do I see myself being in a relationship with? Like, what do I want to be? Who do I want to invest my time in, like, for a person? Obviously, they don't have to be perfect, but what do I want for a person? And I was just making these thoughts, like, okay, I was just making these thoughts, right, of what I'd want for my person to be with who I want to be next. And then with all of that analyzing, I was thinking, okay, enough of that stuff. Would you date yourself? Like that was a real question because you could have all these things that you want in a person, but you really got to think like, would you date yourself? Like, would you date yourself? Because if not, then clearly you're not even ready for that. And I was thinking, am I? And instantly I thought no because I lie. I can't lie. I can lie a bit. I do. I'll be honest. Like, I do lie. My quality time is not the best when it comes to being with someone because I'm so like driven on this one thing that it's like it's difficult for me to sway my time into something else. And what's another thing? I reached something like lack of self-esteem or confidence in some aspects. Like it's weird. Like I know that I'm a confident guy, right? But there's just some aspects when it comes to that type of stuff that I just lack. But maybe I don't know. But yeah, it's a weird one. And then I wrote it in my journal. And then as I was writing, I was thinking actually maybe I would date myself because everyone has their sins or their demons that they're battling. It's just about accepting it and just like working through it, I guess. But yeah, that's something that's just been going on in my mind, bro. Honestly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Love is a weird thing. I hope that you're happy, whether you're single or whether you're not. I hope you're striving and I hope you're doing your best that you can every day, no matter what's coming your way. I think that's all that matters. Your family, your friends, and just being there for your loved ones, making sure that there's just something to live for. I hope that you're happy and I hope that you're striving and I hope nothing is bringing you down even when things are going downhill. Things are all over the place creatively, but during those moments it's a test and I realize there's nothing that I would change. Like I'm still doing this like it was the first day. I was 19 when I started creating content and I'm 23 now. That is ridiculous how things just change, but we keep going and we keep learning. And I hope that you're genuinely happy. And I hope that you're finding your peace and you're finding your rhythm even during this chaos, especially during this Christmas period because it's very unpredictable. So, yeah, I hope you're happy. I hope you're well. And I hope you get a perspective piece. Perspective is going to be bigger than you think. That's my vision of 2026. It's going to be bigger than what I think. And you guys are the real ones because it's only about to get crazier. And that's a fact. This is going to be a short episode of the Perspective Podcast. Be crazy. Be that ridiculous person in that friendship group. Be that. Do that. Take that risk and go higher. Keep striving and don't stop. Don't let nothing or nobody stop you because you're one of one. And that's a fact. So, yeah. Thank you for watching the episode of the Perspective Podcast. And I'll see you guys next week on Christmas Eve. I'll see you guys next week.